Hello, everyone. This is Kristen David and Jordan Ostroff. And our big question for you is how owners, have you ever wished you had a fully trained assistant ready to just step in and help make your life better? Give a little emoji love below, some fire, some big happy faces. If that is you, if you've ever wished for and dreamed for that person. Today, we're talking about jumping in with how you can be more effective and efficient with executive assistants, marketing assistants, people to make your life better. Jordan, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you so much for having me. If there's one thing I like talking about, it's how people can have a better business that lets them lead a better life. And I think this is probably the number one key, having a true dedicated assistant.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. So tell us a little bit about you know that I've been a proponent of EAs for a really long time, have a whole EA package. Tell us about how you work with your EA. Like, what are some of the highlights that you love about having an assistant to make your life better?
Sure. So look, I think the biggest thing for me comes to maintaining your email, setting up your calendar, and then like all the small personal things that happen to come up. I would say on the day to day, they're not really day to day things, but together they are. So, training somebody on how to deal with 80% of your email, training them on how to take ownership of your calendar, and then, booking doctor's appointments, setting up dry cleaning if you don't dress like me in a Hawaiian shirt and you need that kind of stuff, doctor's appointments, stuff like that. Like those become, I think, the three biggest uses of a great assistant to allow you to truly focus on the huge things that move your business forward.
Yes. And those take a little bit of time to kind of get an understanding, work together as a relationship, and then later on, I think comes the part where they can really be that gatekeeper and help you move your business forward by making sure that you're working on the right business things or that the team is actively doing stuff. But digging in a little bit more about efficiency and productivity, what are a couple of things that you feel like really help streamline that get things off your plate so that you can be more productive, they're productive? Is it email rules? What are some of your quick nuggets, your little hacks in there, just to give them a flavor?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a huge fan of email rules, and there's a component of that that is automated. There's a component of that that you train them to do. So, like for me, anytime there's an email sent to me that has to deal with a case, they know exactly who to forward the case to. They respond back, hey, if you could please send all the records directly to so and so, that'll save some of these steps. Just as much as it's, all right, if it's coming in from this newsletter, it goes into this folder for me to read at a specific time. If it's this sales emails, just delete them all and block the person so you save the 47 follow-ups that you never asked for. Like those things add up. Each of these things sounds simple, but when it deals with 100 emails a day at 5 seconds a piece, that adds up so quickly.
So much, so much. And in those, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it adds up so much to giving you that hour to work on your business, to work on the things you want to get to, or to just have a little quiet time and be able to get through some things. So absolutely. Look, we even have some supporters out there on Facebook. Love it.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I know our buddy Brett Tremblay always says, if you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant. And I never realized how true that was until I had an assistant. And then I realized, oh, wait, I do have an entire full-time job that I can pass off on to somebody that is things that I was doing anyway. It's crazy.
well, and you and I have talked about this, but my EA was just out. She's been sick, and so you value that person so much more when they're gone because you realize all the little things they're doing to make your life better. And that, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to do this all the time anymore. I think you felt that way a couple weeks ago too.
Oh yeah, I mean, my assistant went to like a 4-day vacation, and listen, I took a 13-month cross-country road trip. We have unlimited PTO. God bless everyone who takes vacation. We should all take more of it. But man, those days with her being gone, that was harder than me being out, than anybody else being out. It was amazing to realize how important that she is. And so, celebrated the vacation, celebrated coming back, and we worked together to catch back up. But it was great.
Awesome. And marketing assistants. I know that, I mean, executive assistants more the day-to-day helping support the EA, but owners have a lot of marketing ideas, and those ideas don't really take launch a lot of times because the owner doesn't have the time to go do certain aspects of the project. I know I've been a big proponent of marketing assistants because they are like another extension of the owner to go get some stuff done. What are some of the key things that you think a marketing assistant does that helps the owner be more productive and more efficient?
Sure. I think one of the biggest things is research. I feel like this is something that AI will get better, but ultimately, like we saw that one lawyer who got punished for submitting incorrect briefs, and ChatGPT gives me incorrect scientific studies all the time. So there's a little bit of time constraints to go and find the actual study or find the closest real study that says what it says it is. So that becomes a huge benefit over there. Repurposing stuff. So, you come up with a really good tweet, and then they can take that and repost it on Threads and repost it on X and repost it on Facebook and whatever else. And the same thing, like I write a newsletter every week. I've got somebody on my team that breaks that down into five to 10 other pieces of content, who scripts out a video for it, who takes, turns things into carousels. Like there's always more marketing that you can do. So by having this person combined with an actual real like holistic marketing plan, there's a lot of these small things that they can execute on that seem simple, but will give you this crazy exponential growth.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm making a little, making a comment in the social media stuff right now, and I'm going to pop it up on our screen too, as a little banner. Hopefully it's not too long of words, but, oh, really it was like, what is the, if you have an EA or a marketing assistant, comment on what you love that they do, because I think it's such a great way for everyone to like, a lot of times I get a lot of questions from people that say, I don't really know what an assistant would do, an EA, or what a marketing assistant would do. And so people really struggle with, what do you give people to do that's fun and efficient use of their time, of your time, like to get it off your plate and make it a good synergy between you two. What are some of the things you've done? I think we were talking about social media, obviously being one.
Yeah.
What are some other ones?
Sure. I mean, so look, let's dive into that example. So look, we as the lawyers and owners have the benefit of what's in our brain, right? The knowledge of how to practice law and how to handle cases. How do you get that out there in a way where other people will see it to send you business, send you referrals, become a client, come back, etc.? You need some sort of distribution. And so if you as the owner can sit there for, let's say, an hour a week and just brain dump, hey, personal injury in Florida, what I'm seeing recently is people needing, coverage and all the things that come in, and just dive into that. Now you can send that to you have that as a full video. You can send that to a marketing assistant. They can put it in a chat GPT. They can pull a transcript. They can cut it into 10 tweets. They can make a thumbnail for it and run the video on Facebook and Canva. They can take anything you do that's a list and turn it into a carousel and run that on Instagram. They can take it and put it through ChatGPT to be a blog post or 3 blog posts, which can then go up on your website, which can then have SEO value. Like there's a million things that you can do with that one idea in that 1 hour if you have the right support system. Because for you as the owner, it may not be worth it to learn how to use Adobe to edit this stuff, and learn how to use Dolly or Midjourney to make an image, or learn how to use Canva for these things. But you can have that be their genius. So you can provide the knowledge and they can turn it into the easy way to distribute it, and then post it on the social channels through Buffer or Hootsuite or natively in the program. And then let you know, hey, you got a great comment on a post. The person asked this question. What's the answer? Then you answer that post. They can put that answer up there. Then you can turn the answer into content. I mean, you can make a whole ongoing machine out of this stuff, but I need that person to connect some of the dots, because I'm just not going to dive in. It's not going to be worth my time to spend 4 hours taking that 1 hour of content everywhere else, as opposed to having them do it. And then I can create 4 times as much content. Or I can also go to a networking lunch, or I can also do a speech to my local bar, or or I could also do the legal work, whatever it is, we can find so much of this time, and they can hold down the digital fort really easily from anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing is with just a little planning and a little bit of work, they can organize, they can get it scheduled, planned, right? Be ready so that they're working while you're doing other stuff. And it just such a great synergy. I know our marketing assistant package is one of our best sellers. We've had so many dozens and dozens and dozens of assistants go through that and really empower them to jump up and get stuff done. Let's talk a little bit, shift gears for a moment and talk about scaling and growing. How do you give us some feedback on how an assistant helps an owner really scale and grow their business?
Sure. So my favorite example is an answering service. So many law firms hire an answering service so the phone can be answered 24 hours a day. But the thing that gets lost in this, there is no one person who is waiting for the phone to ring for your firm 24 hours a day. It is, 3 8-hour shifts or whatever the breakdown is. It's the same thing here. Whether that's, you not having to worry about taking calls 24 hours a day, whether it's you not have to worry about being your phone open on email 24 hours a day, whether it's you not having to worry about every social media comment that comes in. You can hire one assistant, you can hire two assistants, you can hire a 10-person team, and everybody can have like actual shifts so they can shut off. Yeah. That's how you prevent people from burnout. That's how you can scale and grow in a way that you can love your life instead of scaling and growing from 40 hours a week to 60 hours a week to 80 hours a week and being miserable. And that's ultimately what I did. I went through all of that terrible stuff to realize like I'm not that smart, and it won't matter if I'm not around to be around to do any of this stuff. Like, what can I get off onto people initially, and then how can I empower them to do it way better than I ever can? Whether that's having more patience with clients, talking about what's going on, whether that's having a better knowledge about what the trending audio and the hashtags are right now, whether that's looking at the latest AI programs for this, whether that's someone who's a way better writer than me, who can write better copy here, who can do that great subject line that gets a higher open rate. I mean, there's so many different things. We try to do too much, and then we hire our first person and we try to get them to do too much as well. But really, like, the more that you can put people in these positions where you empower them, everybody grows, and the business as a whole scales as everybody can scale up their skills.
So I love all of that. And I think about people in their zones of genius too. I mean, Excel and spreadsheets and tracking information, like owners often aren't good at that part. And an assistant or someone else can be amazing at that. Or a billing clerk who loves the numbers and tracking and methodically going through all that stuff. And the owner isn't usually able to give that like expanse of time and energy to like get that done and stay focused. So just lots of opportunities to help scale your business and actually put some of that onto somebody else that is really good at that stuff. That's their zone of genius, whereas it's not your zone of genius type of thing. So here's another comment from a Facebook user. I love that Kristen's EA can watch the transcripts of the meetings and make sure everyone understands their who shall do what by when. So that's one of the things that I'm great at dictating it, saying it, okay, so-and-so do this, so-and-so do whatever. But then my current EA, Juanita, can go back and like make sure that gets into Asana or gets put on somebody's plate so it doesn't get lost.
And to take that a step further, and what if the EA went in and calendared time on people's calendars before those deadlines to actually do the work so something else didn't get scheduled, so you knew what you could actually commit to, and then, sent a follow-up the night before to everybody to let them know, this is everybody's commitments for the week or whatever it is. Like, there are little things like that might take, 30 seconds for them to put it on 5 people's calendars, but it's the difference between all of those tasks getting done and not.
You've got a fan online.
Hey, and look, let's be clear. That comes from years and years and years of saying a bunch of things that never happened. Well, I never did them and nobody else did, and they got lost and they never went anywhere. Like, please, please, please take the tried and true methods that Kristen and I are putting together, having been through what the before looks like and helping everybody get to what the after looks like.
Awesome. So let's move on to our last thing, which is brand success. And that, I mean, it's National Entrepreneurship Month. We're celebrating entrepreneurs going after their dreams, building a brand, building a business, getting out there. But let's talk about a few elements of how having an assistant can really, whether executive assistant, marketing assistant, can contribute to a seamless customer experience and really foster loyalty with clients and potential customers and vendors. Can you share some insights on that side?
Sure. So I posted about this morning. I thought I was super smart to say that your internal culture needs to be as aligned with your external brand as possible. And then I realized Tony Hsieh from Zappos said it 5 years before I ever did. So now I'm just happy that other people, smarter than me agree with me. But this is the point of having an executive assistant. It could be as simple as them scheduling time for you to take all of your staff out for their birthdays. It could be as simple as them scheduling time on your calendar to call every client whose case closes 7 days, 30 days, 180 days after their case is done. It could be as simple as them fielding that email in 5 minutes that you're stuck in court. It would have been 4 hours for you to respond to. There's ways for you to utilize this assistant to, in essence, double your face time internally and externally, or even more than double because of all the administrative stuff that comes up, as well as I hope my wife would agree with this. I'm not the most emotional person, but I can carve out the time to do like the above the top things. So I'm not the one at our firm that sends client gifts out to all of our clients. Like we have somebody who specifically does that towards the end of their case from PI, what they're going to use the money on. We want to get them something aligned with that. However, by them doing that, I can help us throw a party twice a year and invite all our clients. I can spend a ton of time at the party talking to our clients. I can call the clients back on their case anniversary to see how things are going because I'm not stuck on so many of the smaller things. And so we can build this brand as the best experience you've ever had dealing with a law firm because I and the other lawyers and the paralegals and the legal assistants aren't also doing marketing tasks, aren't also doing administrative tasks, aren't also doing financial tasks, aren't also, there's 1,000 hats that we wear and make everybody wear it, but we can really focus on listening to our clients, helping them through, whatever other things come up that are related to the work, staying in touch with them, really pushing how we can help them in their life, and things like that, that all build our brand as, the go-to personal injury firm that's low volume, high touch, or as the lawyer with a life wearing Hawaiian shirts, they can take the shirts to be clean, whatever it is. There's a million things that can be done to make this brand consistent. It just takes time and effort. And this is allowing you to have more time and more effort on all these things because not everything falls back on you as the owner.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's where a few easy systems and guidelines can really make such a difference. You were talking about the gifting, right? For us, it's, even when we send flowers, we try to send blue and white flowers to be on brand. Or if no blue flowers are in season, we give the florist the number of our blue color and ask, can you put a ribbon around the vase that's kind of similar to this blue color, right? Like that pushes that brand color. Thrive in the moment, right? Like using the word thrive in an email response or in a just that tone, awesome, whatever it might be, right? It does kind of further, like my assistant, our EA manual has a bunch of like Kristenisms and personalized things so that they're literally an extension of me, like biz nuggets, like things like that. So it's great to know that I've got other people helping us and they're on brand. They're living that mantra of helping people where they are and having that vibrancy and that fun to it. So I think I even had an assistant once who sent an email and told the business owner, like, if you don't schedule the next 48 hours, we're sending you a boot. And I was like, that was genius. I loved it. Like even my EA was like on brand.
Yeah. Well, and look, I think the biggest pushback that I hear from this is like, oh, it's only 5 minutes. It's only 10 minutes. It's only this one thing here. But like 10 minutes a day is 50 days a week, is almost 50 hours a year. That's an entire extra week of whatever you could be doing more, whether it's sitting on the couch and watching Netflix, whether it's, turning $1 million case into a $2 million case, whether it's going to extra networking events to get more cases. I mean, like, it's better than you sitting at the computer responding to email over and over again the same way.
Yeah.
There's just so much more, with the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, 20% of our results or 20% of our input gets us 80% of our results. So like, let's cut out the other 80, whether it doesn't get done or somebody else does it, double down on the 20 over and over and over again, and then watch your results soar.
Yeah. So Jordan, you and I were chatting a little bit earlier today about an idea of helping people by helping train up their EAs and maybe even their marketing assistants. And so I want to post the question out there and let people kind of weigh in and comment below on like, who would want a fully trained EA? To be able to be dropped off on their doorstep or to be, get trained up. What do you want to share about that? We were talking about this earlier. I want people to comment below on whether they would like do back handsprings with the idea of having someone trained. I know you and I would both, like back in the day, it was like, yes, please.
I mean, the correct answer to your initial question is everyone. Everyone would benefit from this. And if you have an assistant, you probably would benefit from having two assistants and then being able to, split the tasks and let them really dive in to, one half of it. If it's the inner office culture builder assistant scheduling lunches and getting everybody together and party planning, and then if it's the email case management side, assistant for all the case emails and offers and discovery and whatnot that we get, getting that filed in the right place, getting time set for it. I think the answer is everybody, but I'm interested to argue with somebody if they disagree.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I know a lot of people that are just getting started and they're like, oh, I don't need an EA. Well, don't think of them as an executive assistant. In the beginning, they're kind of helping manage all aspects of the firm. Once you're over $800,000, $900,000 a year, yeah, maybe now it's your personal assistant. You don't share them with anybody else. They're really just helping you. But in the beginning years or the beginning stages, yes, they're helping you, the owner, for 20 hours a week. And then they're also doing a whole bunch of other tasks to help move the business forward and support the clients and such. So I think that a fully trained assistant evolves as your business grows and evolves. I just had a $10 million business owner who came to us and asked us to help work with he and his assistant, his EA. And they'd been working together for 8-9 months, but we really needed to tune in some efficiencies and find some better habits and routines. And they are doing spectacularly well together now after just a couple of key elements put in place. So I really think that it's a person that can grow as the firm grows, as the company grows. So,
well, and look, let's go deeper with that. And so, Kristen and I and hundreds of other people were at ClioCon recently, right? So there was an amazing thing that happened in this year's Clio Trends report. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm going to say. For the first time, as far as I know, ever, so it's been 11 years of ClioCon, the average law firm, according to Clio Trends report, has realized more than 2 hours a day in billable time. For the first time ever. It used to be 1.5. It was 1.6. It was 1.7. It was 1.8. And I believe this year it was 2.1 when all was said and done, which sounds terrible, right? Like that's 25% of your day that you're actually billing for. So for those of you that are on the billable hour, even if this assistant gave you 10% more time to bill at $300 an hour, that's 80 minutes. That's 1.4 hours. Let's call it 1.5. That's $450 a day times 5 days a week. That's over $2,000 a week. That's over $100,000 a year. And what are you going to spend for an assistant? $2,500 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. Like that might be the easiest thing for a 10% benefit in billing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what else we have to say. Like, I just, to me, the numbers don't add up. The numbers do add up in our favor. It doesn't add up
Yeah.
not to do this.
Yeah.
And and even as a PI firm, like I can show you, numbers of like when I got an assistant and what the firm did. Do I think that she's totally responsible for the difference? No, but I certainly think it was a huge bump in helping me do, and helping us pausing stuff off onto the attorneys, to move stuff down into the paralegals, to move stuff down legal assistants, to move stuff down into the assistant. Like everybody operating more in their zone of genius to get better and better results for clients over and over again.
Well, I think we're going to have to put that math. Lawyers, I know as a lawyer, I could say this, we're not all good with math, but when you lay it out like that, it's absolutely a no-brainer. Like everyone needs to have an EA that's going to help make their life better and let them enjoy life and thrive and help them build the systems and make sure the rest of the company keeps growing and scaling. So, awesome. Well, Jordan, listen, I know we've gone for a bit. Thank you for jumping on and joining us. It's National Entrepreneurship Month. I'm always celebrating how businesses are growing, what they need to grow, the systems they need to put in place. And thank you for sharing your insights about EAs and marketing assistants and how these are some of your most precious people on your team that are going to help make you successful. So thank you for getting on and sharing.
Thanks so much for having me. And seriously, let's help more law firm owners have their version of our lives and our businesses.
Absolutely. So, hey, everybody, comment below, tag us, DM us if you're interested in a fully trained EA or a marketing assistant or a systems person. Let us know. We listen. So we're always ears for like, what do you guys want first and most, and what can we do to support all of you? So let's further this conversation. Jordan, thank you for jumping on. And with that, we'll wrap us up. Thanks, everyone. Bye, Jordan.